Welcome back to the channel Rare Coins Collections. Today we're talking about a coin that's often overlooked, but it could be hiding some real treasure, the 1972 United States half-dollar. While most people think of the classic quarter or penny when they think of valuable coins, the half-dollar has a rich history and could potentially hold some valuable surprises. If you've got a 1972 half-dollar in your collection, you'll want to pay attention to what we're about to dive into. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you might just find yourself checking your coin collection for a potential jackpot. Let's get into it. The 1972 half-dollar is part of the Kennedy series, which has been in circulation since 1964. On the obverse, you'll find the iconic portrait of President John F. Kennedy, designed by the artist Frank Gasparro. Kennedy's portrait faces left, with "Liberty" to the left, "In God We Trust" above, and the year 1972 beneath. This design is striking in its simplicity, capturing the likeness of one of the most beloved presidents in American history. On the reverse of the coin, you'll find a powerful and symbolic image. The coin features an eagle holding an olive branch in one talon and arrows in the other, signifying peace and strength. The inscription, United States of America, runs along the top, with half-dollar at the bottom, and E pluribus unum just below the eagle. The design represents the country's enduring spirit and strength, and the eagle has been a staple of U.S. coins for centuries. Now, while the 1972 half-dollar might seem like just another coin in circulation, there's a lot more to it if you know what to look for. Let's dive into the errors you should be on the lookout for, because this is where the real value can be hidden. One of the most famous errors associated with the 1972 half-dollar is the double die obverse. This error occurs when the die used to strike the coin doesn't align properly during the minting process, causing certain parts of the design to appear doubled. On the 1972 half-dollar, this doubling is most noticeable around the word "Liberty" and the date, 1972. If you look closely and see that the letters or numbers are distorted, blurry, or doubled, then congratulations, you've got a double die error, and that's something collectors absolutely crave. Double die errors are one of the most valuable types of minting mistakes because they are so rare. Only a small fraction of the coins from this year were affected, so if you find one, you're holding a piece of history. Another error to keep an eye out for is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is struck slightly off-center during the minting process, causing part of the design to be missing or misaligned. Depending on how extreme the off-center strike is, it can make the coin incredibly valuable. A dramatic off-center strike, where large portions of the eagle or Kennedy's face are missing, could be worth a lot more than its face value. Even slight off-center strikes can be worth much more than you'd expect, especially if they're rare or hard to find. You also want to watch for die cracks or die chips on your 1972 half-dollar. These imperfections happen when the die starts to wear out or crack, leading to visible lines or breaks in the design of the coin. While die cracks and chips may not be as dramatic as a double die or off-center strike, they can still increase the value of the coin. For example, a die crack that runs through the word "Liberty" or a chip in the eagle's wings can make a coin stand out in the eyes of collectors. So why is the 1972 half-dollar valuable? There are a few reasons that could make this coin worth far more than just 50 cents. The first is the rarity of minting errors. Minting mistakes like double die errors or off-center strikes are random occurrences that happen during the production process. When you consider that only a small portion of the 1972 half-dollars were affected by these errors, you start to realize how rare and valuable they are. Collectors are always on the lookout for coins with errors, and a 1972 half-dollar with one of these mistakes can be worth thousands. Another reason the 1972 half-dollar can be valuable is its condition. Coins in mint condition, meaning they have been well preserved with little to no wear or scratches, are always worth more. If your 1972 half-dollar is in excellent condition and has been carefully maintained, it could be worth a significant amount more than the average coin that has seen heavy circulation over the years. The historical significance of the coin also plays a role in its value. The Kennedy half-dollar series was created to honor President John F. Kennedy, who was assassinated in 1963. His image on U.S. coins has made the Kennedy half-dollar one of the most iconic coins in American history, and this gives the 1972 half-dollar an added layer of cultural and historical importance. Collectors often value coins like these not only for their rarity but also for the legacy they represent. So, how do you spot one of these valuable coins in your collection? Here's what you should do: check the date and the word Liberty. Inspect the 1972 date and the word Liberty closely for any signs of doubling. If you see that the letters or numbers appear blurry or have a second shadow behind them, you may have found a double die error. Look for an off-center strike. Hold the coin up to the light at different angles and check to see if the design is misaligned. Even a small off-center strike can make the coin worth more, but a large off-center strike will definitely make it a rare and valuable find. Inspect for die cracks or chips. Examine the edges and surface of the coin for any cracks or chips. A die crack that runs through an important part of the design, such as the word Liberty or the eagle's wing, can make the coin more valuable. Check the condition. Look at the coin's overall condition. If it's well preserved and has little to no wear, it's considered to be in mint state and could be worth significantly more than a coin with heavy circulation. So, just how much can a 1972 half-dollar with an error be worth? If you find a double die obverse or a coin with a dramatic off-center strike, you could be looking at a coin worth anywhere from $4,000 to $60,000. Yes, you heard that right. A simple half-dollar from 1972 could be worth tens of thousands of dollars, depending on the type of error and the condition of the coin. Before we finish up, I want to hear from all of you. Have you ever come across a rare coin with an error in your collection? Maybe a 1972 half-dollar or another coin with a unique minting mistake? Drop a comment below and let me know what you found. I'd love to hear about your coin hunting adventures. To sum it all up, the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar is more than just a coin. It's a piece of history that could be worth a lot more than its face value if you're lucky enough to find one with a minting error. Whether it's a double die obverse, an off-center strike, or a die crack, these errors can make the 1972 half-dollar worth anywhere from $4,000 to $60,000. So, next time you find a 1972 half-dollar, take a closer look. You might be holding a small fortune. Today, we're talking about a coin that often gets overlooked but could be worth a small fortune if you happen to find one with the right features. We're talking about the 1972 United States half-dollar, a coin that's not only rich in history but could also have some valuable surprises hidden in plain sight. Now, most people are familiar with the Kennedy half-dollar, but the 1972 version, in particular, is special. Whether you're a collector or just someone curious about rare coins, stick around because by the end of this video, you might just be checking your change or digging through your coin jar to see if you have this gem in your collection. Let's dive in and take a closer look at the key features of the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar. On the obverse, you'll find the iconic portrait of President John F. Kennedy, created by artist Frank Gasparro. This design was first used in 1964 after President Kennedy's tragic assassination, as a way to honor his legacy. On this side of the coin, you'll see Liberty to the left of Kennedy's portrait, In God We Trust, above his head, and the year 1972 right beneath. Kennedy's serious yet dignified face is one of the most well-known designs in U.S. coinage, and it has remained virtually unchanged since the coin was first struck. When you flip the coin over to the reverse, you'll see a stunning image of an eagle holding an olive branch in one talon and arrows in the other. This symbolizes peace and strength, values that America has always strived to uphold. Around the eagle, you'll find the words United States of America at the top, and half-dollar at the bottom, along with E Pluribus Unum. The eagle's wings are spread wide, emphasizing the power and freedom of the United States. At first glance, the 1972 half-dollar may seem like just another coin in the Kennedy series, but there's much more to it than meets the eye. This is where it gets interesting. There are some rare errors you need to watch out for that could make this coin worth far more than its face value. One of the most valuable errors you should look for on the 1972 half-dollar is the double die obverse. This error occurs when the die used to strike the coin doesn't align correctly, causing parts of the design to be doubled. For the 1972 half-dollar, you'll typically see this doubling around the date, 1972, and the word Liberty. If you examine your coin closely and notice that the date or word Liberty appears blurry or has a shadowed duplication, you could be holding a rare double die error. Double die errors are one of the most sought-after mistakes among collectors, and they can make the coin much more valuable than a typical $half. Another error to look for is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not positioned correctly during the minting process, causing the design to be misaligned. This can result in parts of the design being cut off, or the entire design appearing shifted to one side of the coin. Off-center strikes can vary in severity, with more dramatic misalignments being particularly valuable. The more noticeable the error, the higher the demand for the coin among collectors. If you come across a 1972 $half with a strong off-center strike, hold on to it. It could be worth a lot more than you think. Additionally, there's the possibility of die cracks and die chips on the 1972 $half. These occur when the die used to strike the coin becomes damaged or worn down. A die crack is a thin line or crack in the design of the coin, while a die chip is a small piece missing from the surface. While these types of errors are not as dramatic as a double die or off-center strike, they can still make the coin more interesting and valuable, especially if they are located in visible parts of the design, like the eagle's wings or Kennedy's portrait. Now, you might be wondering why the 1972 $half is so valuable in the first place. After all, it's just a regular coin, right? Well, the value comes from a few key factors. First, there's the rarity of minting errors. Minting mistakes don't happen every day, and when they do, they often result in one-of-a-kind coins that can't be replicated. The 1972 $half, with its double die obverse and off-center strikes, has become a sought-after coin for collectors. These errors are rare, and finding one in good condition can make a huge difference in the coin's value. Second, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining its value. Coins that are in pristine condition, with little to no wear, are always worth more. A 1972 $half that has been well preserved with no noticeable scratches or dings will be worth much more than a coin that's been heavily circulated. So, if you happen to find a 1972 $half in mint state, it could bring in a much higher price. Lastly, the historical significance of the Kennedy $half series adds another layer of value. The coin was created to honor the memory of President John F. Kennedy, who was assassinated in 1963. His legacy is deeply embedded in American history, and collectors often look to these coins as a way to commemorate that important time in the nation's past. The Kennedy $half has become a symbol of a tragic yet transformative moment in U.S. history, and that cultural significance boosts the value for collectors. So, how do you spot a valuable 1972 $half? Here's what you need to do: examine the date and Liberty. Take a close look at the 1972 date and the word Liberty on the obverse. Check for any doubling. If you notice that the letters seem blurry or double impressed, then you've got a double die error on your hands. Inspect for off-center strikes. Hold the coin at different angles in the light and check to see if the design is misaligned or shifted to one side. Off-center strikes can be subtle, but even a small misalignment can make the coin much more valuable. Look for die cracks and die chips. Look carefully around the design for any thin cracks or missing pieces. If there are noticeable die cracks running through the design or die chips near key areas, like the eagle or Kennedy's face, this could add value to your coin. Check the condition. The better the condition of your coin, the higher its value. If the coin is in excellent condition with minimal wear, it's considered to be in mint state and will be worth significantly more than a coin that's been heavily used. Now, how much could your 1972 $half be worth? Well, if you find one with a rare minting error, such as a double die obverse or a significant off-center strike, it could be worth anywhere from $4,100 to $43,000. Yes, you read that right. Your 50-cent coin could potentially be worth tens of thousands of dollars, depending on its error and condition. Before we wrap up, I want to hear from you. Have you ever come across a 1972 $half with an error, or perhaps found a coin that's unexpectedly valuable? Drop your comments below and share your coin hunting experiences with the community. To wrap it all up, the 1972 half-dollar may seem like a regular coin, but it can be so much more. Whether it's a double die error, an off-center strike, or a rare die crack, this coin could be hiding some serious value. So, next time you see one, don't just toss it aside, take a closer look. You might just find a coin worth $4,100 to $43,000. Today, we have an exciting episode dedicated to a particular coin from 1981 that could be hiding a treasure within your collection, the 1981 United States half-dollar. This is a coin that's rich in history, packed with potential for collectors, and offers some surprising finds for those who know what to look for. If you're a coin collector or just someone who enjoys learning about rare coins, stick with us because this video will cover everything you need to know about the 1981 half-dollar, from its unique features to valuable errors, and how much it could be worth in the right condition. The 1981 half-dollar belongs to the iconic Kennedy half-dollar series, which was introduced in 1964 to honor the late President John F. Kennedy after his tragic assassination. Over the years, the design has remained largely the same, with a few key details that you might want to keep an eye on, especially when it comes to determining its value. On the obverse of the coin, you'll find the striking portrait of President Kennedy. This side of the coin was designed by artist Frank Gasparo, and it features the likeness of Kennedy facing left. Above the portrait, you'll see the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," with the year 1981 inscribed right beneath. Kennedy's face, solemn and dignified, serves as the centerpiece of the design, making it one of the most recognizable images in U.S. coinage. Flip the coin over to the reverse, and you'll see the majestic eagle. The eagle is depicted holding an olive branch in one talon and arrows in the other, symbolizing peace and strength. At the top, the words "United States of America" are inscribed, while at the bottom, you'll find "half-dollar," along with the national motto "E Pluribus Unum." This eagle design has been a part of American coinage for centuries, but it's particularly powerful on the Kennedy half-dollar. Now that we've covered the basics, let's move on to something more exciting: the errors you should be looking for on the 1981 half-dollar, as these can greatly increase its value. The most common error to look for is the double die. This happens when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly during the minting process, causing some elements of the design to appear doubled. On the 1981 half-dollar, you may notice this doubling most prominently around the date, 1981, and the word "Liberty." If you see any sign of blurry or duplicated letters or numbers, there's a chance you found a double die error. Double die errors are some of the most sought after by collectors. These coins are rarer than your average run-of-the-mill half-dollars, and the unique flaws make them highly desirable. If your 1981 half-dollar has this error, you could be looking at a coin worth much more than its face value. Next, let's talk about off-center strikes, another common minting error that can make your 1981 half-dollar a real gem. An off-center strike occurs when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process. As a result, the design is misaligned, and part of the coin's design may be cut off. The severity of the error can vary. Some off-center strikes are barely noticeable, while others can be quite dramatic. The more extreme the misalignment, the more valuable the coin can be. If your 1981 half-dollar has an off-center strike, you could be holding onto something rare. Another potential error is the die crack. A die crack is exactly what it sounds like, a crack in the die used to strike the coin. This can create small lines or fractures in the design, often running across the coin. While die cracks are more common than some of the other errors we've mentioned, they can still add value to a coin, especially if they're in a noticeable spot. For example, a die crack that runs through Kennedy's face or across the eagle's wings can be a very distinctive feature that collectors will look for. So, why is the 1981 half-dollar valuable? After all, it was produced in relatively large quantities. The real value comes from a combination of factors: the rarity of minting errors, the condition of the coin, and the coin's historical significance. First, let's talk about the rarity of errors. Coins with minting errors are always highly sought after, as they represent a mistake in the minting process that can't be replicated. These errors are typically produced in small quantities, making them more desirable for collectors who are looking for something unique in their collections. The 1981 half dollar is no exception, and finding one with a rare minting error like a double die or off-center strike could be a huge win for your collection. Next, there's the condition of the coin. Like most coins, the better the condition, the more valuable it becomes. If you find a 1981 half dollar that has been well preserved, with minimal wear and tear, it could be worth far more than the average half dollar you come across in your change. A coin in excellent condition will generally fetch a higher price, especially when compared to one that's seen heavy circulation. So, if you've been carefully preserving your coins over the years, now might be a good time to take a second look at your collection. The historical significance of the Kennedy half dollar also plays a major role in its value. The Kennedy half dollar was created to honor the memory of President John F. Kennedy, who was assassinated in 1963. Kennedy was an iconic figure in U.S. history, and his image on the coin continues to evoke strong emotions and respect among collectors. This historical aspect adds an extra layer of appeal to the 1981 half dollar, and coins that commemorate important moments in history often see higher demand from collectors. Now, you're probably wondering just how much your 1981 half dollar could be worth. If you happen to find one with a rare error, such as a double die or an off-center strike, you could be looking at a coin worth anywhere from $4,300 to $44,000. That's right. A single 1981 half dollar with a significant minting error can be worth tens of thousands of dollars, depending on the rarity of the error and the condition of the coin. To help you find these hidden treasures, here are a few tips on how to spot a valuable 1981 half dollar. Look for doubling. Examine the date and the word "Liberty" closely for any sign of doubling. If you see a second, blurry image of these parts of the design, you could have a double die error on your hands. Check for off-center strikes. Hold the coin up to the light and look for misalignments in the design. A dramatic off-center strike can make your coin worth much more than its face value. Look for die cracks. Inspect the coin for any cracks in the design. If you spot a crack running through Kennedy's face or the eagle, you might have a valuable coin with a die crack. Assess the condition. The better the condition, the higher the value. Look for a coin that's well preserved, with minimal wear and tear. A coin in mint condition could be worth significantly more than a coin that's been heavily circulated. So, whether you're digging through your spare change or hunting for rare coins at a local dealer, keep an eye out for the 1981 half dollar. With its potential for valuable errors and its historical significance, it could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Before we end this video, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever found a rare coin with an error, like a double die or an off-center strike? Or perhaps you've discovered a valuable Kennedy half dollar in your collection? Let me know in the comments. I can't wait to hear your stories. Today's video, where we're diving into the fascinating world of U.S. coins, specifically focusing on the United States half dollar from 1988. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just someone with an interest in history and rare finds, you're in the right place. In this video, we'll break down what makes the 1988 half dollar so intriguing, what errors to watch for, and, most importantly, why it can be incredibly valuable. Let's start with the basics. The 1988 U.S. half dollar features an iconic design. On the obverse side, you'll find the portrait of President John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts. This design was first introduced in 1964 following Kennedy's tragic assassination, and it has since become one of the most recognizable images in U.S. coinage history. The reverse features the classic heraldic eagle, with a shield on its chest, designed by Frank Gasparro. The reverse has remained unchanged since the coin's inception in 1964, but that doesn't mean the coins themselves are all the same. Now, let's talk about the key features of the 1988 half dollar. The coin is made of 75% copper and 25% nickel, with a diameter of 30.61 millimeters. It weighs 11.34 grams and has a reeded edge. But it's not just about the physical specifications, it's the rarity and condition of these coins that play a huge role in determining their value. As with most coins, the value of a 1988 half dollar can vary widely depending on its condition. Most of these coins are relatively common, as they were minted in large quantities. However, in certain circumstances, some coins stand out due to unique errors or special features, which is where the real value lies. So, what kinds of errors should you look for if you're hoping to find a rare and valuable 1988 half dollar? One of the most important things to watch for is a coin with a double die error. A double die error happens when a coin is struck multiple times by the die, causing a slightly misaligned image to appear on the coin. This can be subtle or quite dramatic, but it can significantly increase a coin's value. The 1988 half dollar with this error is a rare find, and collectors are always on the lookout for these coins. Another error to watch for is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process. If the coin is struck off-center, it can make for an interesting and highly collectible piece. Coins with these types of errors are often much more valuable than their perfectly struck counterparts. Additionally, you may come across a 1988 half dollar that has a slight misalignment of the design. It could be the Kennedy portrait or the eagle on the reverse that slightly askew. This minor misalignment is another feature that could cause a coin to stand out and catch the attention of collectors. In terms of other factors that affect value, the grade of the coin is important. A coin's grade is a measure of its condition, and the better the grade, the higher the value. Coins with minimal wear and sharp, clear details are more valuable than those that have been heavily circulated. Coins that are graded as mint state or proof quality, with no visible signs of wear, are considered more valuable, often reaching higher price points. So, why is the 1988 half dollar so valuable in some cases? As mentioned earlier, most of these coins are quite common, and they were produced in large numbers. However, the scarcity of well-preserved examples or those with errors makes them much more valuable. For collectors, it's the thrill of finding something unique, whether it's a rare error or an exceptionally well-preserved piece, that drives up the demand and price for these coins. When we talk about the value of a 1988 half dollar, we're talking about more than just the face value of the coin. While a standard, unblemished 1988 half dollar might only be worth a couple of dollars, certain error coins or those in pristine condition can command an astonishing amount. If you happen to find a 1988 half dollar with a double die error or a major off-center strike, you could be looking at a coin worth thousands of dollars. To put this into perspective, the value of a rare 1988 half dollar can range anywhere from $4,400 to $46,000, depending on the rarity, condition, and type of error. Yes, you heard that right, $400 to $46,000 for a single coin. That's a huge difference from its face value of 50 cents, so, to summarize, the United States half dollar from 1988 may seem like just another coin in your pocket, but when you know what to look for, it can be a hidden treasure. Keep an eye out for errors like double die, off-center strikes, or misalignments. Make sure to check the coin's condition and consider having it professionally graded if you think you have a rare one. Who knows? You might just be sitting on a small fortune. Today's video, where we'll be diving deep into one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history, the 1776 to 1976 bicentennial half dollar. This coin not only represents a significant moment in American history, but it's also a highly sought-after collector's item. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just a casual viewer with an interest in rare coins, you're in for a treat. We'll explore what makes the 1776 to 1976 half dollar special, key features to look out for, and, most importantly, how to spot rare and valuable examples that could be worth thousands of dollars. Let's begin by talking about the design and significance of the 1776 to 1976 half dollar. In 1976, the United States celebrated its bicentennial, the 200th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. To commemorate this milestone, the U.S. Mint released a special series of coins featuring designs that celebrated America's heritage. The bicentennial half dollar, in particular, stands out due to its unique design elements. The obverse side features a portrayal of the Liberty Bell, with a small depiction of the moon in the background. This design was created by the talented artist, Frank Gasparro, who was the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint at the time. The reverse side of the coin features a striking image of the Independence Hall in Philadelphia, where the Declaration of Independence was signed. The words 1776 to 1976 boldly appear, marking the bicentennial event. Both of these designs were intended to honor the historical significance of the occasion, making this coin an important piece of American history. Now, let's talk about some key features that make this coin stand out. The 1776 to 1976 half dollar is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, which gives it a distinctive appearance and weight. It has a diameter of 30.61 mm and weighs 11.5 grams. Its reeded edge also gives it a tactile feel that collectors appreciate. But what truly makes this coin intriguing is not just its design or physical features, it's the fact that, over time, certain versions of this coin have become quite rare and valuable. As with most collectible coins, the value of the 1776 to 1976 bicentennial half dollar depends largely on its condition and any errors it may contain. Most of these coins were produced in large quantities, so they are relatively common, but certain types of the coin are far rarer than others. Let's dive into the types of errors and features that you should look out for when hunting for a valuable 1776 to 1976 half dollar. One of the most notable errors to watch for is the double die error. A double die error occurs when the coin is struck multiple times, resulting in slightly misaligned or duplicated features. In the case of the bicentennial half dollar, this could mean a doubled Liberty Bell, a doubled date, or even a slightly blurry image of Independence Hall. These errors can be difficult to spot, but they can significantly increase the value of the coin, especially if the error is more pronounced. Another rare and valuable error to look for is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, resulting in a coin that's struck off-center. In some cases, the design may be partially or completely missing from one side of the coin, which can make for a unique and highly collectible piece. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin tends to be. Another interesting feature to keep an eye out for is the proof version of the coin. Proof coins are specially minted for collectors and have a mirror-like finish that makes them stand out from the regular coins in circulation. These coins are typically struck multiple times to ensure that the design is as crisp and sharp as possible. Proof coins are often produced in limited quantities, making them far rarer and more valuable than their regular counterparts. When assessing the value of a 1776 to 1976 bicentennial half dollar, the coin's grade is of utmost importance. A coin's grade is a measure of its condition, and the better the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes. Coins in mint state condition, with no visible wear, scratches, or blemishes, are worth far more than coins that have been heavily circulated. Professional grading services, like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, assign grades to coins, and the higher the grade, the higher the value. So, why is the 1776 to 1976 bicentennial half dollar so valuable in some cases? The answer lies in rarity and condition. While many of these coins were produced in large quantities, certain versions with unique errors or those in exceptional condition have become rare finds. Collectors are always on the lookout for rare examples of these coins, which drives up their value in the marketplace. Now, let's talk about the most exciting part, the potential value of a 1776 to 1976 bicentennial half dollar. A typical coin in decent condition might only be worth a few dollars, but if you manage to find one with a significant error or in pristine condition, you could be looking at a much higher price. Some of the rarest and most sought-after versions of the bicentennial half dollar have sold for anywhere between $4,300 to $48,000, depending on the rarity, error, and grade. That's a huge difference from its original face value of just 50 cents. To sum it up, the 1776 to 1976 bicentennial half dollar is much more than just a coin commemorating the United States' 200th anniversary. It's a piece of history, and for the right collector, it can be a valuable treasure. Whether you're searching for rare errors, looking for a coin in pristine condition, or just want to learn more about this iconic piece of American numismatic history, the 1776 to 1976 half dollar is definitely one to keep an eye on. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more insights into rare and valuable coins. You never know what you might discover in your own collection. Thanks for watching, and happy coin hunting.